Hello, my name is Patricia Thornton. I create short videos with simple instructions related to Sage Intacct ERP software. This is a video that explains the differences between the quick start categories versus the GL account groups. Let's get started. And we get started with a quick PowerPoint presentation to familiarize you with the lay of the land before demonstrating the product live. So you'll notice here that the quick start categories and the GL account groups. This is a quote from the Sage Intacct help uh, on this particular feature. And you'll notice that these both do the same thing. The only difference is if you use the quick start categories, you have all of the out-of-box reports and graphs that those categories have been aligned to. So the account groups or categories will tell the financial reports when configuring which accounts to list, where are the subtotals, and where are the totals. So the focus of this presentation is on the GL account groups, and that is because we all have our tools of the trade. My tool of the trade are the GL account groups because I find it's faster to start from scratch and tailor it to the organization and their requirements than it is to try to make these out of the box and predefined groupings work. Okay, so but just to give you an introduction, again, the lay of the land, you find the GL account categories in when you set up your account, your GL account. And so this is the account number 1000. It's a cash and bank. It's mapped to cash and cash equivalents. All right, let's move on to the GL account groups where the focus of today. So I'm on the application homepage at drop down from the application. I select General Ledger. I land on the All tab on the left. I'm going to focus in the center column. In the center is your account groups. I'll pause for a minute to just bring your attention to the financial reports that these account groups are configured to are right above on the menu. Okay, so we have a listing here, and I'd like this slide to demonstrate the importance of the naming convention. So those account categories are stored in the same table as these account groups. And so when you install the software, you already install maybe 300 to 600 categories based on your system's configuration. And so to start developing your own library, it's important that you have your naming convention so that you can maintain it moving forward. So you'll see at the notes at the bottom, I prefix each of these names of the GL account groups, and I start it with a dot. And that's an IBM 1960s strategy or tool, trick of the trade, because it will list all of my custom um, GL account groups to the top of my library. And all of those categories I'm not using, the 400 to 600, are at the bottom. Okay, the next is the um, acronym for the organization, and that tells the end user that this account group has been tailored or created for the organization. And then the next part of this naming convention, um, focusing up at the top of our screen print, is the statement of financial position. And then O1 is because this is where this is listed. It's the first line item listed on my statement of financial position or balance sheet. It's my cash and cash equivalents. Then there'll be receivables, investments. In my numbering sequence, I'm leaving a little space in case I want to put another group, maybe restricted and unrestricted cash and cash equivalents as a uh, as a totaling, subtotaling. And so I'm using the 1, 2, 3 in the notes below, you see, to arrange the GL account groups in the same order as they appear on the financial statement. If I want to add a new prepaid account, I can quickly come in and edit. Okay, so when we set up this account, we give it its name, and you see it's dimmed out after we save it. That's because it's a primary field in the table. Like all of the primary fields, you can't modify the name, but the other attributes. So you can control how it's displayed on the report in the header, the totaling, the normal balance, so that if it has an abnormal balance, it will have brackets. I'm going to focus over here to this arrow. Second arrow is the structure type. This is where we either, for our simple explanation for today, we're going to only think of two different structure types, and that are accounts and group of accounts. So we'll show you the difference in this slide here and then the next one. So moving down to the calculation method, this is a statement of financial position, balance sheet. The amounts are as of the end of the period. And if it was a statement of activities or profit and loss statement, then it would be for the period. Below, since the structure type is accounts, we have our from account to account, and we add it to the box to the right, which is our group members. If we want to change the ordering or the listing of these group members, we use the little handle on the left to drag and drop its position. Okay, so the next slide we're going to show you is it's going to be set up exactly like this, but we're going to change the structure type. Now we're going to change the structure type. It's going to be a group of account groups. And then you'll notice below, we don't have a to from account. We have a drop-down list, and we select those groups that we want to add as our members. So this is current assets, and we're adding cash equivalents, receivable, investment, deposits, and prepaid. And underneath each of these groups are a listing of accounts. So when we get to the financial report writer, this is our end game of our GL account groups. And we're coming down the toolbar to the left where we have our rows. And we're selecting the account groups that we want listed in this report. So the first total is total assets, and total assets makes up a few GL account groups of accounts, and then each one of those GL account groups have some accounts below it. We'll see that when we look at the report. And then we have a second total, which is our liabilities and net asset. And this is the screen print of our total, our end result. We have our current asset, we have our cash and cash equivalent, receivable, investment, deposits, and prepaid. We have those in summary, and then we have this year, last year. And then we have a second GL account group of accounts, and that's our property and equipment. We have that in summary. And then we have other assets, and then each one of these GL account groups are members of the total assets. All right, so let's go ahead, and that wraps up the PowerPoint. Final PowerPoint gives you my information. Let's jump into the demo. We're at the home page. We're under the applications. We're moving into the general ledger. We land on the all tab on the left, and we're going to focus in the center column. Here's our financial reports. Right below it is our account groups. So I have a special view that is filtered on the dot configuration. Very simple way to filter. But if I came up to all, you'll notice here we have 568 total GL account groups and account categories. So to minimize our level of effort, I'm going to filter for just what we're looking for. And if you'll notice here, if I scroll down, here is the beginning of our statement of financial position. The first subtotal is current assets. It is, then we have these different GL account groups, and below those are our account members. So here's our group members in the box here on the right. And here's our from to drop down. And if we wanted to add another account, I can select that account and add it. I can use the handle on the left to drag and drop it. Whoops. I've moved it up and I can delete it. All right. And then I have full control over the display name, the total display name, and its normal balance. I'm going to save. And then also, I want to bring your attention to this view. I think it makes it very easy to see as we focus across to the right. All of our statement of financial position, all the way down to total liabilities. And then here's the two final group totals that we assign to the financial report, the balance sheet or statement of financial position. Here's our first, the first one was the total asset and then the total liabilities. And if you notice over here in the column with the group type, very quick, easy to see. This is a group of accounts. This is a group of account groups. Other asset, total assets. And also, then we'll look at the dashboard report. I'm going to come over to our board of director group. I'm going to select the balance sheet. And here I've added this financial report to this dashboard. It's its component. I can quickly come in here and edit, and I can also filter. So if I want to see October 31st, I can apply that filter from my dashboard, and it changes the report to show me now the October 31st compared to year end, and then increases and decreases. That concludes this video. If you find it of value, please hit the like button. If you want to contact me, see the final slide in the PowerPoint presentation to learn more about Sage Intacct. Please see my library of videos, either on my LinkedIn page or my YouTube channel. I try to update once a week, and I always thank you for your time and for viewing.